You have been carrying something that was never yours to carry. The weight of needing to prove yourself, prove your worth, prove your value, prove you deserve to be here, to take up space, to receive love. This weight has been pressing down on your shoulders for so long that you may have forgotten what it feels like to stand without it. Every day, in ways both large and small, you have been working so hard to demonstrate that you are enough. And the exhausting truth is that no amount of proving ever seems to satisfy that deep inner voice that keeps asking for more evidence, more achievement, more perfection. This need to prove yourself has become like breathing, so automatic you hardly notice you are doing it anymore. But your body notices, your heart notices, your spirit notices. And today, right now, we are going to explore what it means to finally set this burden down. Take a breath with me. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice that you are here, alive, breathing, existing in this moment without needing to do a single thing to earn this breath. The air comes to you freely. Your heart beats without requiring proof of your worthiness. Life itself flows through you as evidence that you belong here exactly as you are. The need to prove ourselves did not arrive with us when we were born. No baby enters this world worrying whether they are impressive enough, accomplished enough, worthy enough. We came here whole, complete, deserving of love simply because we existed. But somewhere along the way, messages began to arrive. Spoken and unspoken, these messages taught us that love might be conditional, that approval must be earned, that our value depended on what we could do, how we performed, whether we met certain standards. Perhaps someone said we would be loved if we were good, if we achieved, if we made them proud. Perhaps love was withheld when we made mistakes, when we too loud or too quiet, too much or not enough. Perhaps we watched love being given to others for their accomplishments and learned that worth must be proven through external measures. These early messages became the blueprint for how we learned to move through the world. We began to audition for love in every interaction. We started performing instead of simply being. We learned to scan every room for approval, to measure our value by the reactions of others, to believe that our worthiness was something that needed constant demonstration and defense. This pattern became so deeply ingrained that we stopped questioning it. We simply accepted that this is how life works. You prove yourself or you are nothing. You achieve or you are unworthy. You perform or you are forgotten. But this was never true. This was fear speaking, not truth. This was learned behavior, not your natural state. And what has been learned can be unlearned. What has been taken in can be released. You can come home to the truth that existed before these messages arrived, the truth that has been waiting patiently beneath all the striving and proving, the truth that you are inherently worthy exactly as you are. Consider what this constant need to prove yourself has cost you over the years. Think about the energy you have poured into performing, into maintaining an image, into trying to be impressive enough, smart enough, accomplished enough, beautiful enough, successful enough. That energy is your life force. That energy is meant to nourish you, to fuel your joy, to support your genuine self-expression. Instead, it has been drained away in an endless attempt to convince others and yourself that you deserve to exist. The exhaustion you feel is not just physical tiredness. It is the deep weariness of a soul that has been working overtime to justify its own existence. This pattern affects your body in ways you may not have fully recognized. When you are constantly in proving mode, your nervous system remains activated, alert, ready to perform. Your shoulders carry tension because you are perpetually bracing for judgment. Your jaw tightens because you are holding back your true self while presenting the version you believe will be accepted. Your chest constricts because authentic breath requires vulnerability, and vulnerability feels too dangerous when you believe your worth is on trial. Your stomach churns with anxiety because you know deep down that no amount of external validation can ever fill the internal void created by self-abandonment. The body keeps score of every moment you choose, performance over presence, achievement over authenticity, approval over truth. And what about your relationships? When you are focused on proving yourself, you cannot truly connect with others. You are too busy managing their perception of you, too occupied with saying the right thing, being the right way, offering the right version of yourself. Genuine intimacy requires that you show up as you actually are, not as you think you should be. But when you believe your worth must be proven, you cannot risk such honesty. You edit yourself, filter yourself, package yourself for consumption, and then you wonder why you feel lonely even when surrounded by people. You wonder why relationships feel hollow even when they look successful from the outside. The truth is that proving and connecting are incompatible. One is performance, the other is presence. One is strategy, the other is surrender. You cannot do both simultaneously. Your creativity suffers too. When you are locked in proving mode, you cannot take risks. You cannot explore. You cannot play. Every creative impulse gets filtered through the question, will this prove my worth? Will this demonstrate to my value? Will this earn approval? And under that kind of pressure, creativity withers. True creative expression requires freedom. Freedom to make mistakes, to explore dead ends, to create things that serve no purpose except the joy of creation itself. But when everything must serve the agenda of proving, there is no room for such freedom. Your gifts remain trapped inside you, waiting for permission to emerge without needing to justify their existence. Even your joy becomes conditional. You allow yourself to feel happy when you have achieved something, when you have proven yourself in some measurable way. But joy that depends on accomplishment is fragile, temporary, always one failure away from collapse. You have been taught to earn your happiness, to justify your pleasure, to prove you deserve rest. And so you push through exhaustion, deny your needs, override your limits, all in service to this relentless drive to demonstrate that you are enough. But enough for whom? And enough by what standard? The goalpost keeps moving. The bar keeps rising. There is always one more thing to prove, one more level to reach, one more person to impress. This is not living. This is surviving in a prison of your own making, where the walls are built from other people's opinions and your own internalized judgments. Pause for a moment and place your hand on your heart. Feel the steady rhythm there. That heartbeat is not something you have to earn. It is given freely, moment by moment, breath by breath. Your heart does not wait for you to prove your worthiness before it beats. It simply beats because you are alive. What if you could extend this same grace to all of yourself? What if your entire existence could be met with this kind of unconditional acceptance? Beneath every urge to prove yourself, beneath every moment of striving and performing, there is a quiet fear whispering in the background. The fear says, if I do not prove myself, I will be rejected. If I do not demonstrate my value, I will be abandoned. If I stop achieving, I will become invisible. If I show my true self, I will be found unworthy. This fear feels so real, so urgent, so true, but it is not truth. It is a story you learned, a belief you absorbed, a conclusion you drew from painful experiences that taught you love was conditional. And while that fear deserves your compassion, it has been trying to protect you, trying to keep you safe from rejection and abandonment. It does not deserve to run your life. The fear is not your enemy. It is a frightened part of you that learned to equate worth with performance, love with achievement, belonging with approval. This part of you is still operating from old information, still believing that survival depends on proving, and so it pushes you to work harder, do more, be better, achieve constantly. It means well. It is trying to secure your safety. But it is working from a faulty premise, the premise that your worth is something outside yourself that must be earned rather than something inherent that simply is. You can speak to this fear with kindness. You can acknowledge its presence without letting it dictate your choices. You can say, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I am safe now. Thank you for working so hard to prove my worth, but my worth is not provable because it is not in question. Thank you for believing you had to earn my place here, but my place here is guaranteed simply because I exist. I release you from this exhausting task. You can rest now. We can both rest now." This is the truth that changes everything. Your worth is not up for debate. It is not something that can be increased by achievement or diminished by failure. It is not something other people can grant or take away. Your worth is intrinsic, inherent, unchangeable. You were born worthy. You will die worthy. And every moment in between, regardless of what you do or do not accomplish, you remain worthy. This is not something you need to believe through effort or convince yourself of through positive thinking. This is simply fact. You are worthy because you exist. Your existence itself is the only proof required. Let yourself feel what happens in your body when you consider this possibility. What if you never had to prove yourself again? What if you could stop striving, stop performing, stop working so hard to demonstrate your value? What if you could simply be and trust that being is enough? Notice what arises. Perhaps relief, perhaps disbelief, perhaps fear that without the drive to prove yourself, you would become lazy or worthless. Notice it all with gentle curiosity. These responses are normal. You have been practicing the pattern of proving for so long that imagining life without it can feel disorienting, even frightening. But I promise you this. You will not disappear if you stop proving yourself. You will not become worthless if you stop achieving. You will not cease to matter if you stop performing. In fact, the opposite is true. When you release the need to prove, you finally become available for genuine living. When you stop performing, you can start being present. When you cease striving for worth, you can rest in your inherent value. And from that place of rest, from that foundation of knowing you are already enough, your truest gifts can emerge, not as proof of your value, but as natural expression of who you are. Think about the people whose approval you have been seeking. Picture them now, one by one. Perhaps it is a parent whose love felt conditional. Perhaps it is a teacher who made you feel you had to earn recognition. Perhaps it is a partner whose affections seem tied to your performance. Perhaps it is a colleague, a friend, a sibling, a mentor. Perhaps it is society itself, with its endless messages about what makes someone valuable, worthy, deserving. You have been carrying these judges inside you, consulting them constantly, seeking their approval, measuring yourself against their standards. You have assembled an inner committee of critics, and you have given them the power to determine your worth. It is time to release them, not with anger or bitterness, but with compassion and clarity. These people, these voices, these standards, they do not have the authority to determine your value, because your value is not something external that can be judged. You can thank them for what they taught you, forgive them for the pain they caused, and gently remove them from their position of power in your inner world. You can say, I release you from the job of validating me. I release myself from the job of proving myself to you. I take back the power I gave you to determine my worth. I reclaim my inherent value that existed before you and will continue after you. This releasing is not a one-time event. It is a practice you will return to again and again. The voices will try to creep back in. The old patterns will resurface. You will catch yourself slipping into proving mode, and that is okay. This is not about perfection. This is about awareness. Each time you notice the urge to prove, you have a choice. You can follow that urge and return to the exhausting cycle of performance, or you can pause, breathe, and choose differently. You can ask yourself, what would I do right now if I halt? Had nothing to prove? How would I speak if I knew my worth was secure? What would I create if I did not need to justify my value? Your body has been waiting for this release for so long. It has been carrying the tension of constant proving, the exhaustion of endless performance. And it knows at a level deeper than words what freedom feels like. Let yourself tune into the physical sensations that arise when you imagine dropping the need to prove yourself. You might notice your shoulders softening, dropping away from your ears. You might feel your jaw unclenching, your teeth separating, your face relaxing into its natural state. You might sense your chest opening, your breath deepening, air flowing more easily into spaces that have been constricted. You might feel your belly softening, releasing the holding pattern that comes from chronic anxiety about whether you are enough. Breathe into these sensations, welcome them. This is your body's wisdom showing you the way home. Your body knows that proving is not sustainable, that performance is exhausting, that you were meant for something more spacious and true. Listen to what your body is telling you. Notice where you hold tension and ask those places. What are you trying to prove? What are you afraid will happen if you relax? And then, with great tenderness, offer those parts of yourself permission to let go. You are safe. You are worthy. You have nothing to prove. From this place of knowing your inherent worth, a completely different way of living becomes possible. Instead of asking, how can I prove myself in this situation, you can ask, how can I be most true to myself in this situation? Instead of strategizing about how to appear, you can simply show up as you are. Instead of performing, you can be present. This shift from proving to presence is subtle but profound. It changes everything about how you move through a world When you are present rather than proving, you can actually hear what others are saying instead of planning what you will say to impress them. You can respond authentically instead of strategically. You can admit when you do not know something instead of pretending expertise. You can ask for help instead of maintaining the exhausting illusion of having it all together. You can make mistakes without your entire sense of worth crumbling. You can receive feedback without hearing it as a judgment on your fundamental value. You can try new things without needing to be immediately excellent at them. You can rest without feeling guilty. You can play without justifying the time. You can exist without apologizing. Your actions, when they arise from presence rather than proving, have a different quality. They are not driven by fear or fueled by inadequacy. They come from a genuine desire to express, to contribute, to create, to connect. You might still work hard, still achieve things, still create beauty and value in the world, but the energy behind it is completely different. You are not working to earn your worth. You are working because you are already worthy, and this is how you choose to express that worth. The difference is everything. And here is the beautiful truth about releasing your need to prove yourself. It gives others permission to do the same. When you stop performing, you create space for authentic connection. When you show up as you actually are, you invite others to do the same. Your relationships begin to transform. People sense that they can be real with you because you are being real with yourself. The pretense falls away, the masks come off. And what remains is genuine human connection, the kind of belonging you have been seeking all along beneath the surface of all that proving. This is how healing spreads. This is how change happens, not through more provas, more achieving, more perfecting, but through presence, through authenticity, through the radical act of being yourself in a world that profits from your self-doubt. When you claim your inherent worth, you become a permission slip for everyone around you to do the same. You become living proof that worth does not need to be proven. Your very existence, lived from this place of self-acceptance, is a gift to a world that has forgotten this fundamental truth. But you must understand that this is a practice, not a destination. There is no finish line where you finally arrive at complete freedom from the need to prove yourself. This is a daily returning, a moment-by-moment choice, a gentle and persistent reorienting toward truth. You will forget. You will slip back into old patterns. You will catch yourself performing, proving, seeking approval. And when this happens, and it will happen, you do not need to make it mean anything about your progress or your worth. You simply notice with compassion that you have wandered from your center, and you gently guide yourself back home. You might find it helpful to create small practices that support this return. Perhaps each morning, before you get out of bed, you place your hand on your heart and remind yourself, I have nothing to prove today. My worth is inherent. I am enough exactly as I am. Perhaps you check in with your body throughout the day, noticing when you are tensing into proving mode and consciously softening, breathing, releasing. Perhaps you keep a journal where you explore the moments when the urge to prove arises, getting curious about what triggers this pattern and what you truly need in those moments. Perhaps you speak affirmations aloud, letting your ears hear what your mind needs to remember. I release the need to prove my worth. I am free to be exactly who I am. My value is not determined by achievement or approval. I trust in my inherent worthiness, These practices are not about adding more items to your to-do list or creating new standards you must meet to prove you are doing self-acceptance correctly. That would be missing the point entirely. These practices are simply gentle invitations to return again and again to the truth of who you are beneath all the proving and performing. They are doorways back to yourself. Use them when they serve you. Release them when they do not. There is no right way to do this work. There is only your way, the way that feels true and tender and honest for you. As you continue this journey of releasing the need to prove yourself, you may notice grief arising. This is natural and normal. You are grieving the years spent in service to an impossible standard. You are grieving the energy wasted on trying to earn what was already yours. You are grieving the relationships that were based on performance rather than presence. You are grieving the version of yourself you thought you had to be in order to deserve love. Let yourself feel this grief. It is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It is a sign that you are finally feeling the cost of what you have been carrying, and feeling is the first step toward healing. Alongside the grief, you may also notice fear. If I stop proving myself, who will I be? What will I do? How will I know I matter? These questions are the mind's attempt to make sense of a new way of being. The truth is that you will discover who you are when you stop trying to prove who you think you should be. You will find what you are meant to do when you stop doing things only to demonstrate your worth. You will know you matter when you stop looking for evidence outside yourself and trust the quiet certainty within. But this discovery requires faith. It requires taking the leap before you can see where you will land. It requires trusting that beneath all the proven, there is a you worth knowing, a you worth being, a you who is already and has always been enough. So here you are, at the threshold of a new way of living. Behind you is the exhausting path of constant proving, endless performing, perpetual striving to earn what cannot be earned because it is already given. Ahead of you is the spacious, tender, sometimes uncertain path of simply being, of trusting your inherent worth, of showing up as you are and letting that be enough. You do not have to take this entire path today. You only need to take one step, and then another, and then another. Each step is a choice. Each moment is an opportunity to remember, I have nothing to prove. I am already worthy. I am free to be myself. Feel your breath moving in and out of your body. Notice how it requires nothing of you except your presence. You do not have to earn this breath. You do not have to prove you deserve it. It comes to you freely as grace, as gift, as evidence that you belong here exactly as you are. Let this breath remind you of the truth you are learning to live. Your worth is not provable because it is not in question. Your value is not earnable because it is already given. You are free from the need to prove yourself because you were never required to prove yourself in the first place. I see you exactly as you are beneath all the masks and performances. I see your inherent worth, your fundamental goodness, your irreplaceable you-ness, and I am here to remind you that you do not need to do a single thing to earn this seeing. You do not need to be different, better, more impressive, more accomplished, more anything. You are already enough. You have always been enough. You will always be enough. This is not something I am giving you. This is something I am reminding you that you already have and have always had. Your worth is your birthright. Claim it, trust it, live from it. And watch how everything changes when you finally stop trying to prove what was never in doubt. You are free. You have always been free, and now you are ready to live as if you believe it.